Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning everyone. My name is Nur Aisha Amina binti Zubaidi from Group Ketupat. I am the first presenter and I will be discussing from the policy and system perspective. Before I begin, let me introduce my fellow group members. We have Nurul Fayadah binti Ahmad Zainuddin, Nur Izzati binti Led, Carmen Christabel Rumawas, and Atika Salihah binti Muhammad Abdullah. Together, we are presenting on our topic, balancing work and life, why it matters for physical and emotional well-being. Now, let me start. Be honest, how many times have you told yourself, I will rest after I finish this one task, but the task never ends? Right now, across our society, long working hours and constant connectivity have become normal. Employees in office, hospitals, and schools are expected to be available almost all the time. Many people feel proud of being always on, but quietly, this lifestyle is causing harm. So when someone finally says, I cannot continue like this, we often say, manage your time better. But that blames the individual. The real obstacle in this is the system, job insecurity, fears of looking lazy, no protection for personal time. The result is burnout. The World Health Organization officially classified burnout as an occupational phenomenon in 2019. If we do nothing, lower income workers will suffer the most. Family will break, our society will become sicker and more exhausted. So here is my idea. I am proposing a work-life balance seal for organizations. First, company must follow 3 rules. First rule, no expectation to reply the message after working hours. Rule 2, a 4 days work week trial once a year. Rule 3, free emotional counseling for every employee. And next, companies that follow this rule receive tax benefits and public recognition. Finally, an independent committee will will review complaints. If a company breaks the rule, they lose the seal immediately. Now, what happens if we do this? For workers, it means coming home and actually being home. No guilt, just rest. For employee, well-rested teams are more creative and loyal. As sociologist Arlie Russell, a Hochschild, observed in her book, The Time Bind, um, modern work culture commits personal times, leaving less space for family and recovery. The seal directly fixed that. For society, we stop treating exhaustion as a badge of honor. We celebrate balance instead. So here is my ask. Share this idea with one's local business that you know and start small. Let us start today. Thank you. This is all from the policy and system perspective. Now I will pass the time to my group members, Nurul Fayadah binti Ahmad Zainuddin, who will continue from the productivity perspective. Over to you.
Thank you, Aisha. Next, I, Nur Fayadah, will discuss the productivity perspective. The office is not a place anymore. It is a device in your pocket that never sleeps. Thanks to smartphone, the workday never truly ends, leaving us on the clock even during our most private moments. Technology has turned our homes into extension of the office, keeping us in a state of constant high alert. Yet, we still measure success by the hours logged at a desk rather than the result produced. This obsession with presence over performance ignores a simple truth, which is that high quality, innovative work requires a rested mind, not just a body stuck in a chair for 12 hours a day. When we ignore our mental limits, our brain switch into survival modes, effectively shutting down the areas responsible for logic and strategic planning. You are not just tired, you are experiencing cognitive fatigue that make it physically impossible to focus or work efficiently. Left unaddressed, this exhaustion leads to permanent burnout and chronic health issues, turning our workplace into a revolving door of depleted talent. Respecting our mental limits is not just a courtesy, it is a necessity to protect our long term health and our ability to think clearly. To thrive, we must start counting hours and start valuing quality. I propose the 15/Walders method. A practical plan to reclaim our focus and our health, proposed by Jonathan G. 2025. So, how do we make this a reality? Our action plan consists of 4 steps. First, we introduce the 15/10 rule where 15 minutes of deep focus followed by a 10-minute screen-free break to let the brain recover. Second, managers must actively advocate for these breaks, encourage your team to step away from their desk to walk, stretch, or rest their eyes. Third, we must set digital boundaries. Ending unnecessary late night emails will stop on the call anxiety. Finally, leaders will monitor workloads regularly to ensure no one is overlooked. Protecting our recovery is not just a nice, it is sustainable. Rested minds are more patient, kind, and creative. This plan cuts burnout while boosting the long-term productivity. Research from Emily S. 2026 proved that work should support our life, not damage our health. When we value people over the clock, everyone wins. Don't wait for burnout to break you. Take your first step today and start reclaiming your time. Thank you. Next, I will move to the next presenter, Izati.
Thank you, Fayada. I will now present my point on communication perspectives. So silence at work is not always peace. Sometimes it is a sign that employees no longer feel safe to speak. When workers stay quiet about problems, organization may lose valuable ideas, trust, and teamwork. So in many workplaces today, employees find it difficult to express concerns, give honest feedbacks, or share workplace struggles openly. Some fear being judged, ignored, or seen as weak if they speak up. So as a student preparing to enter the workforce, I believe communication between employees and management is very important for a healthy working environment. Research by Olexa and Tokar 2022 emphasized that employee well-being is strongly connected to supportive and effective workplace environments. When employees feel unheard, workplace issues remain unresolved for a long time. So small problems can slowly grow into a bigger conflicts because nobody feels comfortable raising them. So this creates unhealthy workplace communication, low trust between employees and management, and poor teamwork. According to Singh et al. 2024, organizations today face major challenges in retaining and motivating employees, especially when employees feel disconnected from their workplace. If organizations continue ignoring employee voices, the working environment may become less supportive and less productive for everyone. So it suggests organizations establish employee voice channels where employees can safely share feedbacks, concerns, and ideas about workplace well-being. First, organizations can create anonymous digital feedback platforms so employees can express concerns safely without fear of embarrassment or negative judgment. Second, departments can organize short monthly feedback sessions where employees openly discuss workplace communication issues and suggest improvement directly to management. And third, companies can introduce reverse monitoring programs where younger or junior employees share fresh perspective with organizational leaders to improve understanding between different levels of staff. And finally, HR departments should regularly review employee feedback and provide transparent update about actions being taken. This helps employees to feel valued and respected. And the solution is practical because it focuses on improving communication and trust rather than requiring large financial costs. So when employees feel heard, teamwork, workplace relationship, and morale becomes much stronger. And employees should never feel afraid to speak in their own workplace. Organization must stop managing employee voices and start listening to them. Because when employees are heard, workplace become healthier, stronger, and more supportive for everyone. Thank you. I will now pass presentation to Carmen to continue.
Thank you, Izati. Now I will discuss on the digital boundary perspective. So, what truly makes an organization successful? Is it only profit or should we also care about the well-being of employees? I believe a successful organization is not only measured by productivity but also by how it treats its people. Today, many organizations are introducing work-life balance practice such as flexible schedule and mental health support. Companies now realize that employees perform better when they feel respected and supported. Workers who have balance in their life are often more motivated and productive to their organization. According to the International Institute for Management Development, employee well-being is now considered an important part of organizational success. However, Creating a balanced workplace is not always easy. Many organizations still focus too much on performance and deadlines while ignoring employee stress and exhaustion. In some workplaces, employees are expected to stay available even after office hours. According to Hendricks in his 2023 article about workplace availability norms, constant expectation to reply to work messages after working hours can increase employee burnout. If these problems continue, organizations may face lower productivity and high employee turnover. So here is my proposal. I suggest that organization introduce a mandatory silent hours policy to protect employees from work communication after office hours unless there is a real emergency. The implementation can begin with several practical steps. First, organizations should set official silent hours, for example, from 7 p.m. until the next working morning. Second, managers and employees should receive clear communication guidelines about what counts as an emergency. Third, companies can use email scheduling systems so non-urgent messages are automatically sent during working hours instead of late at night. In addition, HR department should monitor the policy through employee feedback to ensure the rules are followed fairly. When employees are allowed to fully disconnect from work, they can return more focused and emotionally healthy. A healthy workplace should respect not only employees' working hours, but also their personal time and right to rest. Tonight, before sending a late work message, ask yourself this: can it wait until tomorrow? Sometimes respecting someone's rest is the first step toward a healthier workplace. Thank you. I will now pass to the next presenter, Atika, to continue.
Thank you, Carmen. So my discussion will be on the recovery perspective. Can you picture this? It's Friday evening, and instead of feeling relief for the weekend, employees already feel stressed thinking about Monday. If you were in this situation, would you feel that your employer truly care about your well-being? Employees today face heavy workloads, long working hours, and constant pressure with limited support. Even during weekends, many still carry family responsibilities and unfinished work stress, leaving little time to properly rest and recover physically or emotionally. So employers still believe that pushing their employees harder will maximize company profits, but this often creates the opposite effect. Employees who are constantly overworked may experience stress, uh, exhaustion, and low motivation at the end of the week. A 2024 report by Ragu found that 67% of Malaysian workers experience burnout. Over time, this can increase absenteeism, reduce work quality, and raise employee turnover rates. Research by Ten and colleagues in 2020 showed that work overload and limited personal and family time strongly influence employees' decision to leave their jobs. When employees' well-being is ignored, both workers and organizations suffer in the long term. As Bertanje in 2010 mentioned that the wealth of business depends on the health of workers. So here is my idea. I propose the implementation of a monthly mental health leave initiative where employees receive one paid mental health leave day every month, separate from existing sick leave and without requiring a medical certificate. To make this practical and manageable, the implementation can happen in several steps. First, the Human Resource Department should create clear guidelines explaining who is eligible, how often the leave can be used, and how employees should apply for it. Second, employees should submit their leave requests yearly whenever possible, so managers can arrange workloads and avoid excessive absence on the same day. Third, organization can begin with a 6-month trial period to monitor attendance, productivity, and employee feedback before making the policy permanent. Finally, human resource departments can review the result regularly to ensure that the policy supports employees without disrupting company operations. The solution is practical because it does not require expensive technology or major structural changes. Instead, it gives employees proper time to rest and recover mentally, which can improve motivation, productivity, and workplace morale in the long term. It's time for employers to recognize that healthy employees build healthy companies. Supporting employees' mental well-being is not a luxury anymore, it's necessity. That's all from my perspective. Next, I will proceed to the group conclusion. Our group concluded that employee well-being should no longer be seen as a personal issue, but as an important part of building successful and sustainable organizations, whether through stronger workplace policies, proper mental recovery, open communication, healthier productivity practices, and clear digital boundaries. Every solution aims to create a healthier and more supportive working environment. When employees feel rested, heard, and respected, they become more motivated, productive, and loyal to their organization. Therefore, organizations must start putting employees first because a healthy workplace creates stronger employees, better performance, and long-term success for everyone. That's all from us. Thank you.